Hey everyone, I hope that you're all doing well. In this video, I'll be talking about the Baldur's Gate 3 hotfix update from 2 weeks ago, which fixed a lot of people's saves and also broke a lot of people's saves as well. This has been causing crashing on console and even on PC, which I'll be breaking down in this video. I do have somewhat of an answer and maybe a fix for some people out there, but it does seem like Larian is aware of this and is working on a solution. It is directly related to the hotfix that I talked about 2 weeks ago when it happened, where there were some changes to virtual textures. Now, there's actually two sections of the map where this seemed to be causing a lot of issues, most notably actually in Act 2 for myself here. I lost 2 saves that I was playing on stream because I would add and remove a bunch of mods, and unfortunately they were not loadable. This save actually ended over a year ago, and it was actually fixed with the hotfix. But now there's some new issues that have been popping up, and I've been noticing a trend. I've been talking to a lot of people regarding this, and the reason I haven't done a video on this sooner is because I've been doing a lot of research to make sure that I can get as much accurate information on this as possible. But a lot of the issues do seem to happen in Act 3 and in Act 2. The unfortunate part being is if you start a new playthrough, you may not know until you've invested a ton of hours, and that's why it's kind of scary. But I do have a few solutions to that, and actually this is what I'm going to talk about. But first, I do think that there is a particular mod here, the Deadlier Honor mode. Now, the creator, CH, here actually did notify that they are working on a fix, and they actually mentioned on their Nexus mods page they had a gallbladder surgery removal, and they haven't had actually any internet for 3 weeks. This mod, it may be causing some issues for players. And if you go through the comments, a lot of people are having issues with this. The creator is aware as well. So this is likely going to be an issue for a lot of people if you are using the Deadlier Honor mode mod. It's got 100,000 downloads of mod.io alone, and it likely is something that's happening in Act 3. So if you have that mod installed, it might be worth checking and seeing if you remove it and get into your save, that if it works. And I also do a video on how to remove mods from console. I just want to say though, that if you do remove mods, there is sometimes issues that can occur. I do talk about that in the video, and that's just kind of the thing with modding. There is always going to be an inherent risk when it comes to mods. It's something I do say often in my videos. Unfortunately, people do DM me with being upset because I recommend mods, and I can't predict the future. Sometimes these virtual texture updates do cause issues down the road for some players. But I just want to make it clear for all the DMs that I do get that are upset at me, I do say often that there is an inherent risk to modding, and that's just an unfortunate thing it is. I lost 2 playthroughs with this happening, so it does happen. And what's funny is if you go through Reddit, you're going to find a ton of posts talking about the same issue. It's mostly in Act 3 from what I've seen. There's also some other mods that may potentially be causing issues we'll be getting to. This is kind of a process of elimination, because it does seem like there are a number of mods that are actually causing these issues from talking to people. Now, the thing is, Act 3 is extremely resource dependent, and consoles aren't always the best at running things. Especially once you get into Act 3, I'd actually recommend, if you're playing, to go into your options settings and turn off the dynamic crowds under your video options. This one helped me a little bit, as Act 3 has a lot of stuff happening here. And another big problem that can happen is if you're using mods that have a ton of extra stuff added in, like any necromancer mods. I've seen some people doing things where they have like hundreds of summons. That typically ends up overloading the memory and causing issues as well. Act 3 actually being kind of impressive that it's able to run. I've also been talking to some people that are playing on like Xbox and doing split screen, having some issues as well. The thing is, whenever you're playing split screen, the game is rendering 2 copies of what it sees, which is really, it eats up a lot of the processing power of your console. So if you're also doing that while playing with mods, that can cause some issues too. Again, this is something I've been talking about with a bunch of different people, so if you're able to comment and leave a very detailed information on this video, I can kind of help out perhaps in finding what mod may be causing the issue. It's mostly seeming to be caused to console players, and most notably PlayStation 5, and I'm a PlayStation 5 player as well myself. I know that it does struggle often with mods. So if you're playing on PlayStation 5, again, it is really hard to test out these issues that can happen in Acts 2 and 3, because you'd have to play through all of Act 1, and it really would suck to get to the late game. I actually saw some people talking about marathoning the entirety of Act 3 because they're using mods like the Deadlier Honor mode mod, and that wasn't letting them save. So basically what they had to do is just do a full marathon to beat the game in Act 3, and ain't nobody got time for that. That is difficult. So my personal recommendation, I do this often. I test mods quite frequently, and especially my own mods as I'm working on some. What you want to get is a mod called the Book of Debugging. And what this does is lets you teleport between regions. So you can click here to go to region. And I would recommend doing this because if you're downloading, let's say you're testing and seeing if certain mods will work. Again, you can't test them in Act 3 easily, but you can with this mod because it lets you teleport all the way to Act 3. Now, the reason that I recommend doing this is sometimes, again, there's only going to be like one issue in Act 3. And what it seems like with some of these mods is it adds in any type of new content. And that kind of mod, like even ones that add in new items to the overworld, could potentially cause some issues. Like it's not anything about the mod itself. I just want to make that clear. It's Baldur's Gate 3's Act 3 just having so much stuff happening, like all these characters that are running around. I have the dynamic crowds off, so when there's so many assets that have to be constantly loaded in and out of the game, when you're starting to add in more, it could just push the system over the edge. So kind of the technique in how to test this would be, again, download the debug book. I also like to have the cheater spell scroll. This just lets you teleport, put this on your bar there, and just let yourself warp around the map and just see if there's any issues. I'd also recommend going to Withers because I've actually been having issues. And this is something I also want to talk about. As you may have noticed, I've been putting out less Baldur's Gate 3 content. This is because my game is crashing horribly as well. And most notably, when I go to talk to Withers, and I haven't been able to find out like a solution. It's random from what I've been seeing. And a lot of the things that have been happening to me have been random, unfortunately. So it likely is a virtual texture related thing. I unfortunately couldn't find the comment. There was someone that told me that they did report this to Larian. Larian's aware of it, and they say they have been working on a future fix for this. So we'll hopefully see that come in the future because I do know a lot of people are having issues with this. But I probably will be having less Baldur's Gate 3 content over the next little while just because of, I've been, like some of these videos I talk about why they're later coming out is I spend like 2 or 3 hours sometimes just preparing the mods because they've been crashing so frequently lately. So unfortunately my time gets eaten up and then I'm not able to put out a quality video, and I don't want to put out something that's bad. I know this is kind of rambling and getting on to other topics, but I also do want to talk about this mod here that I've been using quite a bit with the D&D Player's Handbook 2024 All and Beyond by Yoon Sick. I love this mod. I think it's amazing. 1.5 million people have downloaded it. It's crazy. It is the mod that adds the most changes to the game, with them actually having a full GitHub link with all the changes, and it is massive. Like if you were to read through that, it would take you hours and hours. This is a massive mod, and it's an amazing mod. Don't get me wrong on this. It has been causing me issues because of the amount of things that it does cause changes to. Now, this will cause changes. This is why I think I'm having issues with Withers, is like if I add or remove this mod, it's adding and removing stuff from the save file, and it's been causing crashes. Now, I can't say for certainty that it is this mod that's been causing it, but this is also something that I've been doing content on, and I've been noticing more if I use this mod, it's not, again, anything related to the mod. It's probably something to do with the virtual textures that's not loading in properly. So I've seen a lot of comments in my videos talking about this mod, and some people that are upset that I'm even talking about it because it would just completely crash their game entirely. The thing is, there are so many conflictions that can happen with that mod. It's, again, it's not made with compatibility in mind, just due to the large scale of it. So I just want to talk about this mod just because I do think it's an amazing mod. It changes a lot of things, and it updates it to the Player's Handbook 2024 with some homebrew. Some people really do like that. I like it too, but unfortunately, the mass amount of changes can cause conflictions, especially if you're using other types of mods. Like I'm also making my own mods, which don't conflict, but they can sometimes have some issues with Withers. And I think that's due to removing and adding so many different things to the file. But yeah, I've been getting a 33% save issue and a 75% save issue. And I've been seeing some other people reporting the same on my comments, my videos. And again, I've been getting comments on all my videos regarding this. So I know there's a lot of people that are affected. Unfortunately, we don't have a for sure answer out here, but I just want to mention those two mods that are quite popular, with one of them being for sure causing the issue and the other one just being reported and anecdotal for myself and others. But it does seem like Larian is aware from what I've seen from comments and is working on a hotfix update because it's been happening to a lot of people. I also talked about this briefly in this video about how to report good bug issues, and that is something that I would recommend doing. I'll also have linked in the description how to submit a bug report to the Baldur's Gate on Larian's website here, which is important. Leaving good bug notes helps everybody, and I actually talked about in my last video about how a bug report helped me fix one of my mods, so it just helps everyone. So if you're having issues, I would just recommend setting in the bug report. It seems like Larian is aware and will hopefully be getting that fix coming soon. And I am sorry for everyone that save files aren't working. Hopefully these solutions may provide some clarity and may fix things for you. But if not, I would recommend just trying a new save out, going through with the debug book that I talked about, and seeing if you could do a mod-free playthrough. And if that's the case, maybe try turning off half your mods and trying the other half, and just the process of elimination to find which mod may be causing the issue. But yeah, also feel free to leave comments below. Just I'm trying my best to help out as many people as possible, as I understand that there's limited support when it comes to these things, and people just want answers. People just want to play their game, so I'm trying to do the best that I can to help out others. Let me know if this was useful in the comments, and hit the subscribe button below if this was helpful. Hope you guys all have an amazing day, and we'll see you all in the next one.